if I look at the stock today, I would guess that the market didn't like the earnings report.
No, indeed, they did not. Yeah, take a look at that chart. They haven't liked much about StoneCo for the better part of a year, though, right? So down 67% in the last year. Yeah, almost 35% today alone after third quarter earnings yesterday afternoon. So yeah, let's talk about this, Brian, because StoneCo is kind of a mess at the moment. If you're looking at it from a very, especially from a very superficial standpoint. But some of the highlights: third quarter revenue was actually pretty good. 1.47 billion real, or reais plural. That's Brazil's currency. It equates to $270 million. The analyst consensus was 1.43 billion reais. So they actually beat on revenue. Adjusted earnings per share, though, missed the consensus, and that's adjusted. So let's talk about the unadjusted figure, because I think that's where the story kind of comes into play. StoneCo reported a massive unadjusted net loss for the quarter, 1.26 billion net loss in Brazilian currency, in the real, and that was all because of this investment write-down they had to take. Basically, what happened is back in the second quarter, back in the spring of this year, StoneCo took a 5% equity stake in this digital lender in Brazil called Banco Inter, and it started out pretty well. Shares of that company down in Brazil went higher in the second quarter, but then Brazil's economy kind of took a turn for the worst starting this summer. Their recovery from the pandemic, and it kind of stalled out. The economy is facing double-digit unemployment. Interest rates are sky high. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of a theme with some economies in Latin America, as you get these inflationary forces paired with high unemployment. So the central bank has had to hike interest rates. Basically, Banco Inter stock tanked in the third quarter, and so that's where this big net loss is coming from. It's non-cash because it's just an equity stake, but yeah, over $1.2 billion net loss reported, and I think that's where the market is starting to get hung up by this right now. Brazil's economy is a mess. It looks like it's going to continue stagnant into next year, at least according to their central bank. They're anticipating maybe 1% GDP growth at best. So it's just not looking good. But the upshot here is StoneCo, the business, is actually doing just fine. Their actual digital payments user base more than doubled year over year. And a large part of that is because of that Banco Inter investment that they made. They made the investment to coax users onto their platform. It's working. They have a software business now. They acquired a software business to complement their digital payments platform to help consolidate small and mid-sized business spending with StoneCo. So it was definitely a mixed bag. But it's going to be messy for a bit, though.
Yeah, it's interesting. They're focused on the unbanked population in Brazil, which is huge, and providing a sort of a payments and do they do cash management and stuff? So they sort of act as a bank account as well.
Right. There's also some hiccups that came up earlier this year with that as well. They have the software to help manage finances as well, but they got into credit. They started up this credit arm earlier this year, and then they said they were going to pause it because also, again, this is very technical, but behind the scenes, Brazil is updating its digital payments platform, like the country overall is, like the back end infrastructure that handles movement of digital money. Changed changed. StoneCo took a step back and said, we're not doing that for a while. And so now where there was revenue from their credit product, suddenly there's no revenue at the moment. So yeah, they're focused on the unbanked though. And Brian, I know one of your favorites is Mercado Libre, like
right,
a quality company trying to bring Latin America up at the times, into this digital economy, can have some horrible swings up and down in value, but the business itself can still be solid. And I think that's what's going on here with StoneCo. Even though the economy has kind of hit the skids for the time being, StoneCo is doing fine. They're helping lots of people enter the digital economy and helping small businesses update their operations. So
you're thinking maybe today's stock movement is a bit of an overreaction then?
I think it's definitely a knee-jerk reaction, and it's that net loss. There's a big difference though between an unrealized. We know this as investors, right? A loss isn't truly a loss until you sell a stock and realize the loss. That's basically what StoneCo is reporting here. It's an unrealized loss on an equity investment that they made.
Yeah, my wife calls that fake money.
It is. It's fake money until you sell it.
Until you sell it. That's right. Awesome. Well, I appreciate the update on StoneCo. This is one to watch, I think, for a long extended period. The market for them is just massive.